We have some Giants news. I will read the Giants statement very quickly before we bring in our guest, Phil Simms, who joins us every Thursday before home games. The Giants issued this statement, Paul, earlier today. Late last night, we were notified that a Giants player tested positive for COVID-19. The player was immediately self-isolated, and the contact tracing process was initiated. All of the player's close contacts were identified and were informed to remain home today. Those individuals will participate in meetings remotely. We are working closely with the NFL's chief medical officer regarding next protocol steps. Quest Diagnostics Training Center will remain open, and the rest of the team will follow their normal practice and meeting schedule. Right after we're done with Phil Simms, we will air Joe Judge's Thursday press conference. That'll probably be around 12:20, so make sure you stay tuned for that, and that'll give us some more information on exactly what's going on with the COVID-19 situation. Now, let's welcome in our guest. He joins us every Thursday before Giants home games. It's Super Bowl champion Phil Simms. It's time for the Simms Spotlight, which is presented by Bigelow Tea. Grab a mug and tea proudly. Phil, you got John Schmelk and Paul Dottino. Thanks again for being with us. How are you?
I'm doing well. Good to talk to you guys. That's some breaking news. Of course, I haven't seen that or heard it yet, and it's a shame. It's taken its time, working its way through the whole league, and now it's hit the Giants. So, you know what? You have to deal with it. They'll do the right thing, I'm sure. The contact tracing is great, what they've done in the NFL. And honestly, I hope it's one player tested positive. Is that right?
That is what the statement says. That's correct.
Okay. Well, I hope it ends there for them, just for, really for not only the Giants, but for the NFL. That would be the best case scenario.
Phil, I know we're not getting any details right now until Joe Judge speaks in just a short time, but before we get to our fans' Twitter questions for you, let me ask you a generic question. You've seen what's happened with a number of these cases around the league so far this year. In fact, the Raiders lost their whole offensive line for several days as they had to prepare for a game. What does this kind of do to discombobulate a team's preparation as they try to get ready for a kickoff?
Well, listen, of course it's tough. It really, I guess the only thing to compare it to, well, you have time to prepare if you have this. But when you have, multiple injuries to key players, like, let's say we had a game back in the day, we probably had one when Jim Burt, Lawrence Taylor, Carl Banks, Mark Bavaro all couldn't play or something like that. Well, you deal with that during the week. Now this happens, and it's kind of the opposite. We don't have them. Oh, but they can play in the game. And I'm sure the Raiders, just to give a quick example, the offensive line not there all week, it really hurts communication, all the things that you need to do on a film to get ready with film working on the field to get ready for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm sure the Raiders wanted the game moved back to give them a day or two of practice, but the league, they're holding firm. It's fight through the adversity, and they're going to do everything they can to play these games. And, of course, I understand that too.
All right, Phil, we have some bigger picture questions from the fans today, but I want to get in a couple of things that I think is really pressing with the Giants right now. I look at this offense, and it really feels to me like Jason Garrett's almost calling plays with one hand tied behind his back. The last couple of weeks, they just seem really hesitant to run any straight, true 5 or 7 step dropbacks because there just isn't a lot of confidence in the protection to give Daniel Jones time to throw the ball. They've played some of the best pass rushes in the league. It's no different this week with the Bucs, who have one of the best pass rushes in the league. Is that what you see on tape? And how, as a coordinator and a quarterback, can you work around that?
Hard to work around it. There's many things you can do, but, of course, that limits your offense. I tweeted during the game, I don't know when I did it, maybe third quarter. I said, my gosh, I didn't say it, my gosh. I just said, Daniel Jones has not been able to step up in the pocket one single time in the game. So I did watch the game on tape just to go over and see what I saw on TV, if it matched to what I saw on film. And I was wrong. Daniel Jones did have one opportunity during the game to step up. One. Okay?
Okay.
And it's the pressure. I don't know, and I don't care what analytics say in this response. He throws with more people around him than probably anybody in the NFL. There's always, if he could step into a throw, he'd probably go, well, he probably doesn't know how to sometimes because I was watching all the throws. I counted 5 special throws by him in the game, and most of those, some of them I had to say he was getting hit and he still stood off balance and made the throw, things like that. It's very tough when you cannot trust your offensive line. and I say this all the time. Of course, it's hard to call plays. They actually tried to help Andrew Thomas once. That didn't work. And Andrew Thomas just got himself, look, I'm not a line coach, but I understand enough. They just took turns over there. So he couldn't even get in rhythm with who was rushing me because they changed the rusher. And they all have a different style, a different skill set. That made it rough. And the pocket inside, it was okay, but it gets pushed back too far. And, so that's big issues when you're trying to call plays. What are you going to do? Get rid of the football. And, there's many things I can say about it. I'll make this one statement. Two things. Carson Wentz was the best player in the field. There's no argument there. He was the best player. He won the game again for them or kept them in the game. He made some absolutely incredible plays. And, I know, he had an interception. Oh, my gosh, you got to play perfect. I get so sick of hearing it. I heard somebody on TV this morning just go, well, Carson Wentz, don't even tell me if he can't win the game against the Cowboys. And it's, I hate to tell everybody out there, let's focus a little more on the surroundings and what goes on with the team and not just thinking they're going to win or lose because of the quarterback. We're not able to see the true talent of Daniel Jones. That's one thing. And my last thing is this, is that I thought Joe Judge, that he managed the game from start to finish, is probably the best one of the year. And I'm sitting there going on, come on, blitzing, do something. And they were patient. They held in there. And finally, I thought the Giants kind of wore the Philadelphia offense down, and they got great pressure on him in the second half.
Phil, there's a question that Harlem Vet 99 wanted to ask you, and I guess you've kind of already answered it because the question was, why does it seem like Daniel Jones is so hesitant to throw? Well, then obviously he's getting a lot of pressure. But there's another question that builds off of that I get a lot from fans, and they say, well, why don't you just have a moving pocket? Wouldn't that be easier for Jones because he can get away from the people?
It's always a great thought. Hey, I say it too sometimes. You want a mixture of everything. But really, to move the pocket is so limiting, and defenses read it so well. As soon as the quarterback rolls right, they all start moving that way. And if you throw it anywhere in the middle to the right side of the field, they're breaking towards it. That's tough. And, you want some bootlegs. I thought the Giants showed some diversion or whatever you want to call it with some movement, different formations, things like that. I thought that was really good. But, again, it's, as I'll say, you are not going to go on a run of winning games or be a good football team unless you have a good offensive line. And we still don't see that good play from the Giants' offensive line to say, man, they can win this week because they can protect Daniel Jones and give the receivers a chance to get up and down the field, and we can run. And no, that is not the case, and we'll just see how it works out as the year goes.
Well, Phil, this one is from @MountainGirl456. She asks, how would you fix this Giants team right now? And I'll add the addendum since we just talked about it, other than the offensive line.
Well, I really think the one thing, listen, they need more weapons. There's no doubt about it. We drafted the Giants, not we. I'm not we, but, I was there. As Mr. Mara says, there's no such thing as ex-Giants, just old Giants. Okay,
there you go,
so I'm
Phil.
an old Giant.
There you go.
But they do have to, the offensive line has to do its part. They've got to get it, keep working on it, and they need more talent in the skilled position players, the wide receiver, running back, whatever you want to say.
Shepard did help last week, I thought, though.
Yes, he did. Mm-hmm. Yes. So we got Sterling Shepard, Darius Slayton, and there's Golden Tate. And, listen, that's okay. But, where would you rank that in the group of wide receivers across the league? Where do we stand? And then the big thing, too, on offense, the Giants need Evan Ingram not to be good. They need him to be a star. He has star qualities. He needs to be somebody that we go, wow, George Kittle, Travis Kelce, and Evan Ingram's a little different, but, man, he's closer. And that's a really big thing, too. The defense, I think it's been extremely organized, playing really well, got caught. I forgot who it was when they gave it the long pass. I was thinking of it. Number 37.
Ryan Lewis?
Yeah. Got caught looking inside because I know the coverage, and he had a little responsibility in. But the one thing, you don't want him to run by you. And, of course, Carson Wentz, I watched it. I just watched this game against Baltimore a couple of weeks ago because I wanted to watch Baltimore, and I went, they had no chance in the game. And with 5 minutes to go, he takes them down the field twice and scores touchdowns, and they came a 2-point conversion away from tying up and taking it to overtime. So he's in pressure moments, moving out of the pocket, the throw he made, the throw for the touchdown to Boston Scott. That was, I counted about 6 or 7 big-time franchise quarterback making throws by Carson Wentz. And, of course, the other thing is, too, which I've always said, Daniel Jones has the ability to really break out and do more. But he's doing what they want him to do. You read this, do that. Just it's easy for me to say, but play a little more street ball sometimes. When you feel like the protection is not there, just break away quick. And hopefully, it's not easy, but hopefully you'll find a lane to run in, to go by time, to run, whatever, those type of things, because he has definitely shown he has the speed and the mobility to really make that a factor when defenses play the Giants.
Phil, at MoFish24 asks you specifically what you think that Daniel Jones can do to help expose Tampa's defense. And look, I watched that game last week. It looks like they're playing with 12 guys on defense, and the back 7 has roller skates on. I mean, these guys are fast, and they are quick to the ball.
Well, listen, Tampa Bay, to me, is absolutely a Super Bowl contender. There is truly no weakness on that football team. I thought, okay, maybe protection. I mean, they got a huge offensive line. Wait till you see them. They're as big as the Giants up front, Dexter Lawrence and the whole group, Tomlinson and B.J. Hill, whoever. They're huge. And Tristan Wirfs has really played well at right tackle. So Tom Brady, just like in New England, in front of him, the center and the guards, they don't move a lot. So he can stand there with a great pocket and throw the ball. They got the skill. And the defense, you said it, big, up front, good pass rushers, really good. Linebackers with tremendous speed and size, and both of their corners, I think, are top-notch. Both come from Auburn, Carlton Davis, and don't tell me, Jamel Dean. Oh, my gosh, he looks like a small linebacker out there playing corner, and he's maybe one of the fastest corners in the NFL. So, and then, listen, they, like I said, no weakness, and not only that, depth. Tom Brady has changed the word culture. There's no question about it. Robert Jones is running like it's the last carry of his life every time he carries it because there's Leonard Fournette sitting behind him and, whatever. So it's a tall task for the Giants. And I don't have an answer to say to you, what are they going to do to overtake this Tampa Bay team?
Yeah, Phil, it is going to be a tough game.
Listen, it's all you can do is go out there, fight, and hope the ball kind of falls your way, which it can sometimes. We were 1-7, not to go back in history. We were 1-7 in 1980. We were absolutely awful. If we lost 45-7, I'd just go, well, that's about the way it's going. And we played the Dallas Cowboys 7-2, and we just went out and played, and what do you know? We beat them 38-35. So sometimes it does against a team that's better than you. It can click, and that's what the Giants really have to hope for, that it clicks. And there's nothing wrong with doing maybe more diversion, trick plays. I don't even call them trick plays. I call them plays to keep the cheating defense honest. That's what you do. And, my son and I talk about this all the time. Why does everybody wait till a certain moment to, throw it to one side of the field, throw it back, or run reverses? I mean, man, get that defense thinking. And when you do that, when you think, it slows you down, of course, physically. So I'm interested in watching it for lots of reasons, to see how Giants do. But, of course, I'm also interested in watching the game because I want to see another game by Tampa Bay. They've become must-watch by everybody, I think.
Yeah, I'm with you, Phil. I think them, the Steelers, and the Chiefs, talk about all of them in the same category. They're all Super Bowl contenders. I'm with you. This is more of a big-picture question from @PatrinaSmith1. How do you evaluate where Dave Gettleman has built the Giants up to this point and kind of where they are in that rebuilding process from when he took over 3 years ago?
Well, that's a good question. I really can't go back and go through the whole thing and all that. And I'm not going to sit here and say anything negative about it, that's for sure. I just know this, for many reasons. One, I'm probably not qualified to go over it. Hey, listen, they got Blake Martinez. That's worked out. I think Dexter Lawrence, when I watch him, he's getting better and better and more mobile and nimble, which I love. Dalvin Tomlinson's, he's got that same look. Just, they guys that can bend and twist and all that, and they're huge, they're sooner or later going to start making more impacts. And I see that when I watch, and B.J. Hill too. I see it with those guys. And Kyler Fackrell, I love him and Blake Martinez up in Green Bay when I did games up there. I was like, I like these guys. They just know how to play, and they've been productive on the field. So, and Bradbury, he's been solid basically all year long. That's a great thing too. So there's something there. And I always go to this. Things can change fast in the NFL. This time last year, I reminded guys in the NFL Today and Showtime, we were sitting there going, 0-6 Dolphins, they'll never win a game. They're going to lose every game. They're going to get Tua. And I said, no, they're going to win some games. I said, they'll win. At the time I thought it was reach. I said, they'll win 3 or 4. And they all kind of, yeah. And I really kind of thought 2, but I said 3 or 4 just to put some emphasis on it. And look what they did. Because they stayed together, they were organized, which I see that with the Giants. And just with, being together, keep working and all that, and sooner or later it will click where it gives you, more than just a couple chances to win games. Now look, the Giants have what? Had Philly beat, really? Had a chance to beat the Cowboys? I mean, we could be sitting here in a whole different scenario talking about the Giants, but they didn't. They're going to have to win those really close, tough games like they've lost.
Well, the one thing I will say before we let you go, Phil, is that as you look at this Giants team, it is clear they do play for their head coach. They do fight. They do put their best foot forward. It may not always come out very well, but this is a team that's certainly given everything they've got, whatever that is.
Well, I'm going to answer that real quick. Is you are right, and I talk to a lot of people around the league, and I have not heard, from coaches, people I really trust their opinion. So far, everybody just says nothing but nice things about Joe Judge and what they think he's doing with the football team. How he's reacted to situations, how he's treating the players, how he's kind of honest with the press, all those things. I think he's connected with the players. So this is, it's a long, hard road. Winning in the NFL, guys, Paul, Schmel, I tell you, winning one game, when you win, you go, oh, my God, we won. I mean, it's every week. Even when we were good, I just go, man, we won. Oh, it's incredible. And when you lose, it seems like you haven't won a game forever. So you just keep going at it. It's a game of adversity. It's rough. It's tough. But the last thing is running down that field on Sunday before the game is the greatest feeling in the world. And so you just hope it works out from everything you've done to prepare during the week.
Phil, great stuff. We appreciate the time as always. Enjoy your weekend of football. Enjoy Halloween, and we will talk to you in a couple weeks.
Be good, Phil.
Okay, guys. Listen, have a good day. Thanks for having me on, and look forward to it. And, I don't mean to do a shameless plug here.
No, plug away.
Many things. I'm a creature of habit, but I've changed my Bigelow teas. I'm now drinking different kinds. I drink peppermint because I get an upset stomach sometimes watching all these tapes. And so it settles my stomach down a little bit. So, see, I'm being a little bit of a doctor to help people to get nervous stomach. Peppermint tea does it, man.
I'm a lemon honey guy, Phil. I like the lemon honey one.
I like them all, but I get it. When I get on one kick, I stay on it until I just wear it out. So we'll see. That's it.
Appreciate
you guys
it.
have a great day.
Thank you, Phil. Appreciate it.
Okay.
And by the way, Phil's right. Bigelow has a great variety. The green teas, the Constant Comment, which is a big fan of that. They got the peach. You got the lemon. Like all of them. So make sure you guys go and check that out. That was a Sim Spotlight, which was presented by Bigelow Tea. Grab a mug and tea proudly.